there's this kind of oxymoron that's when you're not working on yourself, but you're intentionally working on something else, you're working on yourself. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Drew with Sobriety Daily, and today we're going to be talking about the myth of working on yourself. Hey, if you've enjoyed these videos, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, or if you find any kind of value in it, please hit the like button. And so with that, let's just kind of jump into it. So one of my sponsees, one time I was working with him and I said, hey man, you know, how's your meditation going? And he kind of like looked at me in this, kind of millennial hipster way. And he goes, and not to offend any of you guys who are millennial hipsters, he's like, well, I have an app for that. And I remember I just about died laughing because it's like saying, hey, do you have a girlfriend? And then he's like, yeah, I have an app for that. Like, how's your relationship with God right now? I have an app for that. And I remember thinking, that's crazy. Like this is an actual relationship. And I said, well, what are you really doing right now? And he said, well, I'm just kind of like, I'm not working right now, and I'm just really taking time to work on myself. And I said, well, what does that mean to work on yourself? And he's like, well, I'm really just like thinking about it. And I went, okay, let's talk about this, and let's really talk about what does it mean to work on yourself. And I'm gonna get a little bit on the woo-woo metaphysical side of things, but just kind of bear with me. So the eye cannot see itself, and if you look at the tip of my finger here, it can touch other things, but it can't touch itself, right? So in the same sort of way, when you say, I want to work on myself, that's like the finger saying, I really want to touch the tip of my finger with the tip of my finger. You can't do it. So when you do something that you find meaningful in your sobriety or in anything, and this isn't just something just for sobriety, this is really for just life and really living a good life. When you do something that you think is meaningful, that you think benefits the world around you, that you think really improves the world around you, you immediately find meaning in that purpose. So when there's this kind of oxymoron that's when you're not working on yourself, but you're intentionally working on something else, you're working on yourself, right? So when we think about it, we think we want to work on ourselves. Why do we want to work on ourselves? We want to work on ourselves so that we can not experience negative emotions, or so that we can be free. Well, the real thing is why do we want to not experience negative emotions? Well, because they hurt. Okay, fine. But why do you want freedom? Well, do you want freedom like my kids want freedom, to be able to stay up late and to be able to eat all the candy that they want and not have to go to school and just stay home and play video games all day? Is the desire for freedom to be irresponsible? Or my argument is that the desire for freedom has to be so that you can be free to do something that you think has a lot of meaning to it. And so when we look at the idea of working on ourselves, or working on some aspect of yourself that you really want to see get managed or worked on, or maybe you want to be less impatient. Well, if you're talking with somebody and you're getting really impatient with them, the key to getting less impatient is not to focus on yourself and be less impatient, be less impatient, be less impatient. The way to actually work on impatience is to look at them and be like, okay, let's think about them. Let's think about what's going on in their life. Let's be curious about what's going on in their heart. What's happening with them? How did they get there? And all of a sudden, next thing you know, your focus is on them, and you're being less patient because you're not focusing right on yourself. So there's kind of this myth that if you really focus on you, if you make you your top priority, everything is going to be perfect. But really the way we ought to be looking at it is you have to make what you find meaningful your top priority and go do those things. And then your life will just start to have meaning all by itself. It's not like you go out and say, I'm going to define that this is what I think meaning is, and I'm just going to analyze myself to death until it happens. That's just not how it works. We have to just kind of say, well, you know, if this happened or if my life did this, I think that'd be meaningful. If I had 2 sponsees, if I had a way to be able to, you know, serve with my online Zoom meetings with the program, or, you know, if I had a way of serving the people in my home or serving my neighbors, what's a way that you think is meaningful? My wife likes to bake and give cookies to the neighbors. It's kind of like her thing. You know, me personally, I like to just sit around and ask people how their day is going and see if they want to get like a cup of coffee or something like that. And that's just kind of how we interact, but we find it meaningful. And in doing so, I don't have to say, well, I'm really working on me to try to like be a better neighbor. Well, what does a better neighbor do? A better neighbor goes and offers their neighbor a cup of coffee or something. And so by asking what would a better neighbor do, I inevitably become a better neighbor. By asking what it is that a meaningful person would do in that situation, we avoid the trap of saying, I just want to be a better person. What does a better person do? Go and do that thing, and you'll find that you're becoming a better person. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Let me know what you would like to do to try to become a better person in the comments below. And hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this stuff on a regular basis. You take care. We'll talk to you again real soon. Bye now.